Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? I want to confess to you that I made my husband to become a blind man because he used to beat me and he used to abuse me quite a lot. And then that was when I met this other woman that I started being friends with when I was still in South Africa before I had came to Europe. So this lady, she told me that she was a traditional healer. Since she was a traditional healer, then she assisted me and I used love charms on my husband so as to calm him down, because my husband, he used to be someone that was very abusive. Even when we started staying together, my husband will beat me each and every time. And since I was just a village woman, when we started staying together back home in Zim, there was nothing that I could do. And now I am enjoying my life. I am dating as many Nigerians as I want here in the UK. And I even sleep with this man when my husband is sleeping on the bed. Since he is a blind man, there is nothing that he can do and he relies on me. I also advise other women, especially those women that are in Europe. So what has been happening is that here in Europe, your husband can bring you over and you'll be a dependent, and if he wants to cancel your visa, he can cancel it out, so you will start to mistreat you. I want to give you advice. Do not fight with him. Let him do whatever that he wants. And when you return back to Africa, make sure that you get a very powerful traditional healer that is going to bewitch him so that you can enjoy your life while he is suffering. Do not even think about divorcing him. Just use charms on him and you're going to get the revenge that you want. My husband used to beat me back in Zaka in the village where he made me to stay with his parents. Now he is blind and I am enjoying Nigerians. This is the revenge that I did on my husband. So me and my husband, when we met, that was when he impregnated me when I was only 19 years old. He paid 5 cows for me and then he took me to the villages. As for my husband, I'll call him Tabonga and you can call me Mimi. That is my name. I have rebranded myself. I am no longer that poor Zimbabwean woman that used to struggle in Zaka, as well as that woman that used to be shy, a shy village woman who was staying now in South Africa. I am here and I am enjoying my life. My husband, he used to treat me as if I was like a donkey. Life with my husband was like hell. I would wake up at 4 a.m. just to fetch water. I would carry maize on my back. I would cook for his drunk father. As for his father, he was abusive. We used to beat his own mother. That is where he learned it from. And whenever he would come back home drunk, he would punch me as a way as to discipline me. He would wake me up sometimes at 3 a.m. saying that I want you to cook pap for me. I had 2 miscarriages because of the way that he used to beat me. But when I tried to run back home, my parents could not accept me since he had paid for the bride price. They were too poor. They thought that his parents would come back to demand for the cows that my husband had paid during the lobola negotiations. So they would be like, you need to return back to your husband. My mom will be like, you do not fight with your husband. You need to be a submissive woman. So I stopped fighting with my husband. He thought that maybe he had won me over, and he thought that maybe now I was a woman that listened to him. But what he did not know was that I was just quiet because I was planning about a revenge. We then moved to South Africa in 2018. That was when I met this other woman whom I'll call Mama Chikore. She was a traditional healer. I met him at a robot when we were busy marketing for a job in South Africa. And then we were picked up by this other woman who gave us a piece job. As we were working, that was when she told me that she was a traditional healer, a powerful witch doctor. I told her everything and she laughed at me and she said, if you want to tame a dog, you do not beat that dog. Isn't it that you cook for your dog? If you want to tame a dog, you poison its tongue. That was when she gave me Bute in Shona. It is herbal snuff. And then that was when she gave me another charm that is called in Shona Chitema Musoro. In English, it means mind control powder. And then she gave me another charm which she called Zisore Nyoka. It was a small seed, and she told me that this seed, it is called the eye of a snake, and it was dried. I had to dry it for a couple of days, and I was supposed to crush it into powder. And then I cooked for my husband. My husband, he became calm. He no longer started beating me like he used to. He never cheated on me. And then that was when we found the opportunity to come to Europe. He then prepared everything for me, and when my visa was out, I came to the UK, and I found that my husband, he kept on cheating, and he was beating me like he used to when we were still back in Africa. And I spoke with the lady, and she told me that the charms had expired. I said, what am I supposed to do? That was when she said, you need to return back to Zim so that we can see what we can do. My husband then said that he wanted me to go and fetch the kids in Africa because we now have the kids with us here in the UK. I went to Zim. I was so excited. I then went to the village where this woman stays in Chipinge. She took me to a certain grave, and she said that the grave, it was the grave of a Hila, who was also a witch. That woman, she died as a witch. And then we did the rituals at that woman's grave, and I wrote my husband's name and I placed it on that witch's grave, and I returned back to the UK. When I returned back to the UK, that was when I cooked the food and I mixed it with the charms that I had brought with me from Zim. My husband got ill, and we took him to the hospital, and then that was when he told me that he saw darkness. That was all that he could see in front of me. He was unable to see me anymore. And just like what the witch doctor from Zim had told me, my husband was taken for an operation to the theater room. The day when he was taken to the theater room, I got so excited because the witch doctor said if he is going to get operated on, then he is not going to see again in his life. He is a blind man as I am speaking with you. I then got a job as a care assistant, and I love the way that I am living my life. I date men that worship me. I date Nigerian men that do not even beat me. And as for my husband, he cannot do anything for himself. I can even bring a boyfriend into the bedroom while he is sleeping on the bed. I can sleep with my boyfriend on the floor, and I can make as much noise as I want to. Whom can he report to? Because when he wants to do a voice note to speak with his parents who are back in Africa, I will tell him to do the voice note whilst I am holding the phone for him. And if he says things that I do not like on the voice note, I will delete and I will tell him to re-record again. This is my advice to women. If your husband hits you, use charms on him and do not even try to fight back with him, and you can enjoy your life. I am dating men that treat me so well, and as for him, he is the one who is suffering from his blindness, and I don't even regret what I did because of the way that this man used to beat me and used to abuse me when we were still in Zim, as well as we were still in South Africa. When we were in South Africa, when we were walking, it would be like, yo, these South African women, they have been blessed by God. Look at the way that they are made, and look at the way that they dress. Not you Zimbabwean women, your bones are too hard, you are not flexible, and you do not know how to dress. This was my husband who used to say all of these things to me. You see, this is why I had to bewitch him. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with her in the comment section. Yo.